MP Repairs presents the camera removal on a Nokia N95. Warning, this content is intended to be used for informational and entertainment purposes only. You're using these directions at your own risk. Performing this repair will void your warranty. This video is copyright MP Repairs. To remove the camera on a Nokia N95, you will need a Torx T-6 star-type screwdriver, a separation tool of some kind, possibly a pair of tweezers. Begin by making sure the device is completely powered down. Once you're sure it's powered down, remove the battery door and battery. And also remove the SIM card if you haven't done so already. Next, you need to remove this entire rear case. In order to do that, take your pry tool and along this edge here, there'll be a very small gap. Insert your pry tool like so, and just lever it away from the case. As you can see, that side is now released. With that side released, just hinge it back. Don't be afraid, it won't break. It may take a bit of manoeuvring out, but because it is just a bit tight, that's all. And then just lever it up and over the speaker. Once you've done that, the other side will just lever away. And that just is your standard rear housing, complete with buttons, etc. Place it off to one side, we don't want to lose it. Next we need to remove 4 T6 screws. They are located here, here, here and here. Start with these two here and here. Then remove this one. If they don't come out with your screwdriver, just use your tweezers to pull them out with. Place that screw off in a safe place. As you can see, this one hasn't come out. So just take your tweezers, just encourage it out. Like so. And place that off in a safe place. Next, remove these two screws here and here. You'll find that the case begins to spring upwards. That is because there is some spring-loaded stud contacts between the screen and the motherboard. Once you have removed these, turn the unit over, slide the screen up, and then slide the entire screen assembly forwards. But do not remove it completely, as there is a ribbon cable still attached. Don't know whether the camera can pick this up, but there is a ribbon cable still attached. Try to do this one-handed so you can see what I'm doing. Using your safe pry tool in underneath this edge and just carefully release the ribbon. Once that is released, you can place your screen module to one side. You can now remove the keypad. In order to remove the keypad, just lift it up and it'll release some little clips at the back. I don't know whether the camera can pick that up or not. There's a little clip at the back there. Place that off to one side, keep it safe. We now need to remove these two T6 Torx screws here. Now these are a bit different to the ones you just took out. These ones are self-tapping screws, so you can't really get them mixed up because they're much different from the others. So remove them. They'll be quite tight because they eat their own thread into the plastic. These screws hold on the bottom part of the case, along with, which includes your antenna, one of the antennas for the phone. Remove both screws. As you can see, they are quite a bit different from each other. Place them off to one side. Next, very simple, we can just lift the motherboard up and out of the casing, like that. That is your motherboard and camera assembly. Get back to that in a second. This is your rear case. As you can see, the antenna and microphone have just come away from the bottom, which they will do. If you find this part here, I don't know whether the camera can pick that up, but this green bit here is damaged anyway, it'll affect your reception, so you'll need to replace this entire part. Place that to one side, we don't need it at the moment. This is your rear case. You have your headphone jack here, and then your speakers here and here. This connection here, these series of pins, are for the other antenna on the phone. That connection there is for your camera flash. This connection here and these all around here are the grounding points for the entire unit. This here is your charging port. Place it off to one side, we don't need that at the moment. What we now have here is we have the motherboard along with the camera. Now in order to remove the camera, turn the unit so it's as if the top is facing you, and you can see the camera comes through on a ribbon cable to a plug socket here. Now simply, with your safe pry tool, in underneath the edge of the ribbon and just release. As you can see, the camera just dropped through because of the weight of the camera. If you find it doesn't drop through, like so, just lift it down and weave it out through that hole that's in the frame there. That there is your camera. If you find that your camera doesn't come included with the metal frame around it, just place the camera on the desk, taking a very thin, either a piece of plastic or a very thin pry tool, insert it down the edges of the camera to release. Now, it can be a bit tricky, but just be patient at it. As you can see, that side has now released. It's no longer square in the frame. Turn it over. Release the clips on that side, and you'll find then the camera will just slide out of its metal housing. Sometimes they come with these housings, sometimes they don't. If they don't, you just need to do this little trick. You can then replace your camera. Do not forget, however, though, to put a bend in the ribbon flex. Fold it back on itself, like so, so it'll marry up with the socket just here on the motherboard. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and give me the thumbs up, and I'll try and get some more on here soon. Thank you very much for watching.